EmOUchihaHime here, and today I'm doing a tutorial video to explain to you how to create Yuki-Cross's weapon when it's transformed. And there it is right behind me. I don't have a lot of time, so let's get started with the supply list. The first thing you're going to need is 4 pieces of foam board. Now this is just some leftover board from when I did this project. You're going to need pieces that are 32 by 40 by 3/16 inch. As you guys can probably tell, it's not all that thick, and that's why you need 4 pieces to give it some strength so it doesn't break easily. You're also going to need an x-acto knife, a hot glue gun, paper mache, paint brushes, acrylic paint, craft bond, spray paint, a wooden pole that's roughly 5 feet tall, and most importantly, reference pictures. Reference pictures are going to go a long way for you during this project. Now the first thing you got to figure out is how big do you want this thing? Do you want it taller than you? Do you want it shorter than you? It's totally your decision. Though I recommend you guys don't go above 6 feet because 6 feet is the maximum allowed at conventions. I also recommend that you go slightly larger than yourself for accuracy's sake. In the anime and the manga, you can clearly tell that her weapon is larger than her. But if you want to be accurate, that is totally your decision. You don't have to. Once you figure out all your measurements, you're going to draw it onto one of your foam board pieces. Once you finish drawing it, you're going to use your x-acto knife to cut it out. Take that cutout piece and put it on the other foam boards and trace it. Once again, use your x-acto knife to cut it out. At the end of this step, you're going to have 4 pieces that look alike. Then you're going to want to cut out 2 rectangular shaped pieces that fit the base of the blade piece you just cut out. At the end of this step, you're going to have 6 pieces all together. Part 3, partial assembly. Now you're going to take the blade pieces and separate them into 2 groups of 2. You're going to take your craft bond and you're going to spray one side of each piece, combining them together. At the end of this step, you're going to have 2 pieces that are 2 pieces thick. Let that sit for about an hour, though I recommend you guys leave it for the rest of the day so it has a chance to set properly. The next step is to combine those 2 separate pieces into one. So you're going to take the craft bond and you're going to spray one side of each piece, combining those together. Now you're going to have one piece that is 4 pieces thick. The next step is to create the housing for your pole. So you're going to want to take your pole, place it on the base of the blade piece, and trace around it. Make it at least 4 inches long. When you make the housing for your pole, you're going to want to make it a nice fit. You don't want it too big because it's going to move around a lot, and if you make it too small, you're going to break the base. So make it a nice fit. Once you have drawn out the housing, you're going to take your x-acto knife and cut around the line that you just created, making it a gouge opening. Test your pole and make sure that it fits properly. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start spray painting. Take your spray paint and spray paint both sides of the blade piece and one side of each of the rectangular pieces that you cut earlier. Now we're going to put one of those pieces on the base for the backing. Take your craft bond, spray the other side of the rectangular piece, and attach it to the base piece that you're going to have for the back. Now we're ready for paper mache. So the first thing you're going to do is look at the reference pictures of the design of the blade. Draw it out on the blade carefully. I would recommend you guys use a stencil because stencils will make it the same on both sides. So first create a stencil using regular paper and scotch tape, and then draw that out on each side of the blade. Then you're going to do the paper mache. The instructions are already on the packaging, so I don't have to explain how to do that, but fill in the stenciling that you just did with the paper mache. You're going to have to let that dry 2 days for each side, so 4 days total. Once you finish the paper mache, you're going to want to change the coloring. So take your acrylic paint and paint all of the paper mache. This may take a little bit of time. You might want to make it a little bit darker than the spray paint that you use. So whatever spray paint color you want to make the paper mache a little bit darker for contrast. Now we're going to spray paint the pole. Use the same color that you used for the blade. Now it's time to assemble the whole thing. Take your glue gun and glue the heck out of the other side, like the inside of the gourds that you created earlier. Place in your pole, pressing down firmly so that the glue can take effect. Then you're going to take the glue and you're going to put it on top, on the other side, on the front side of the base piece. And then you're going to put the other rectangle piece on top, firmly pressing it down. It may buckle a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. And there you have it. Just let it dry overnight, and there you go. You have your Yuki Cross pop. I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section or in a private message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you guys have fun making this project, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!